You are authorized to access.
Let's see what you got. Son?
Ah. Hello, Mother. Tell me, what would you do when someone has stolen from you?
I try and talk it out. See if things can be resolved peacefully.
An admirable goal. And yet we find ourselves in a situation where something more significant must be done. The group that calls themselves the Railroad have acquired several synths from the Institute. Synths that had gone missing in recent months. And they no doubt mean to free these synths, in their delusion that synths are somehow sentient beings. You've been in contact with the Railroad, so you're aware of their misguided beliefs.
They mean well. They're only doing what they think is right.
You dealt with Libertalia. That's the result of their selfish, short-sighted plan. Usually they are a minor nuisance, but lately they have become more emboldened. I'm afraid we've reached the point where a response is necessary. We have learned the current location of these synths, and need to reacquire them before the Railroad can hide them.
Sounds pretty simple.
Hopefully, yes. But it's important that we act on this soon, before the Railroad has any indication we've tracked them. We also don't want the Brotherhood of Steel getting wind of the presence of the synths. That would only complicate matters.
Hey, I'll act quickly. You can count on me.
You'll have a contact waiting for you just outside Bunker Hill. Good luck.
Father has done remarkable things. I would not exist were... Not for him.
I've been waiting for you.
Sorry to have held you up.
Try and keep up from here out. Our targets are inside. 4 synths under railroad protection. Majority of the settlement is uninvolved and are expected to run for cover. The situation appears to have escalated. A covert approach is likely impossible. We move in, secure the synths, and I relay out with them back to the Institute. Clear? The mission's parameters just changed. We go in shooting. Requesting backup relay now.
Trying to get someone killed?
Don't have the key.
Your stealthy attack was unsuccessful, and now you must die.
Is someone present?
Sensor anomaly detected.
Leave no survivors. Not like this. No.
Combat subroutine. Eliminating all hostiles.
Excellent.
Alright. What's up? Oh yeah, cool.
Taking damage! Damn it!
Actuator damaged.
Excellent.
Following. Assessment.
Lights out for you.
Signs detected.
I've been looking for you.
No, I've got money. It's yours if you let me go.
F633. Initiate reset. Authorization code Delta 62 Arcus.
Here they are.
God, it's a Corsair.
Oh no!
Issue the reset codes and we'll relay back to the Institute. Time is critical.
All right, Synth.
Please.
C322. Initiate reset. Authorization code Gamma 49 Typhoon. You there, Synth.
Come on, please. Just don't.
B257. Initiate reset. Authorization code Theta 93 Stratus. No sudden moves.
Please, no.
Y915. Initiate reset. Authorization code Beta 77 Tempest.
That's all of them. Objective complete. Return to the town. Make sure all hostiles have been eliminated. I will relay the synths back to the Institute. Report to Father upon your return, and... good work.
Alrighty. We'll head back to Father, aka Sean.
You must be terminated.
Alright. Alright. Let's head this. Let's head on upstairs. Alrighty.
You know, in all my years, I've never set foot outside the Institute. Not once. Since the day they brought me here. I've never had a reason. But now, this just confirms the truth I've always known. The Commonwealth is dead. There's no future here. The only hope for humanity lies below.
It's not so bad, really. People manage.
Perhaps. But at a cost too great to be worth it. Standing here, I'm reminded of how fortunate I am that I was spared a life in this wasteland. I know that to you, I was kidnapped from that vault. In truth, the Institute rescued me. Both of us, really.
They kept me alive, too?
They did, indeed. I was the perfect candidate. An infant with uncorrupted DNA. But if something were to go wrong, if I died, well, the Institute realized a contingency plan was prudent. Another source of pre-war DNA, preferably related to their primary subject. It only made sense that my parents should fill that role. So you were kept alive and safe within the vault. I'll admit, when I had you released from Vault 111, I had no expectations that you'd survive out here in all this. To not only do so, but manage to find me. To infiltrate the Institute itself. Extraordinary.
So it was you. You let me out?
Yes. It was my decision. Certainly it was no longer necessary to keep you suspended. Well, I suppose I wanted to see what would happen. An experiment of sorts. With the Commonwealth corrupted, as it has everything else. Would you even survive? Perhaps most curious to me, would you, after all this time, attempt to find me? And now I know the answer.
Sean, you need to know. I still love you.
I can see that you do. Well, it's remarkable. There are greater things to come after your success at Bunker Hill. The synths have been safely returned and will be repurposed. Thank you for your work. I hope you weren't at too much risk.
There's always a risk. It was worth it.
I'm glad you see it that way. The railroad remains an annoyance, of course. But they'll be dealt with as necessary. And you, well, you've passed the test, as they say. You have done well. Please, take this as a token of my appreciation. Our appreciation, really. It's time for you to become more involved in the future of the Institute. I'd like you to join me inside. The Directorate is meeting, and you should be there. I'll be waiting. I've seen enough. It's time to go back in.
Alrighty. Let's see how much time I got. I got a good 30 minutes.
From what I hear, that rogue synth at Libertalia is a real menace. Glad it's back where it belongs.
Let's get this Directorate meeting over with before we speak further. Well, it's important.
Sean?
Let's get this Directorate meeting over with before we speak further. Well, it's important.
Calm this a clean floor? Are your visual receptors malfunctioning? Can you not see the grime and dust?
My apologies, sir. I was issued a defective cleansing unit.
Don't make excuses. You're clearly defective, and I intend to report this. Perhaps after you've been disassembled, we can use your components to make something that's actually useful.
Yes, sir.
Unit X688 speaks highly of your combat skills.
Greetings, ma'am.
Good, we're all here. I think it's time we begin.
Sir, excuse me, but what exactly is she doing here?
I will address that issue. But there are other subjects that require our attention first. The level of unrest in the Commonwealth continues to rise, as we're all aware. Your report.
All Institute facilities remain completely secure, with the exception of one notable breach. Otherwise, internally, things are as tight as they've ever been. Dr. Ao has been keeping an eye on things topside.
Yes, Watchers show no additional threats beyond those previously identified. Boston International Airport remains occupied, with Brotherhood presence noted at several other points throughout the Commonwealth. Intelligence suggests that this railroad continues to operate and is becoming more ambitious. SRB agents are monitoring all known situations, sir.
Very good, thank you. It's clear that our safety needs to be the primary concern going forward. To that end, where are we on Phase 3?
Excuse me, but, sir, are you sure this is, well, the proper time to be discussing that? Considering, I mean, given all parties present?
Ah, yes, that's true. Have you heard anything about Phase 3?
Of course.
Really? Well, there's no shame in being out of the loop, as it were. The project has been classified for quite a long time. Power is, as I'm sure you've seen above ground, a very valuable commodity. I'm not talking about some abstract concept of control. I mean real, tangible power. The kind that keeps the lights on. With every advance the Institute makes, our need for raw power increases. Many compromises and sacrifices have been made over the years to allow progress to continue.
In this world, I'm sure compromise is necessary.
Quite right. For far too long, we've been dependent on others. On our surroundings. That time is over. Phase 3 is simply the activation of a nuclear reactor that can provide enough power to the Institute now and forever. It will ensure not just our survival, but our prosperity.
Sounds like an important step.
That's...
Sure.
The reactor is close to ready, but recent tests have determined we have a few tasks ahead of us. Thus, we come to Phase 3, and to how you will help.
Sir.
Yes, Dr. Ao. Previously, we would rely on Kellogg for above-ground operations, yes? Well, he is gone. While I am not overly fond of putting my own mother in harm's way, she has proven more than capable of handling herself.
Yes, but...
This is not a matter for debate. Now, there is one more subject that requires discussion.
I don't know that this is the time.
Dr. Holdren, it is time. Please, as I'm sure several of you are already aware, I have been under Dr. Volkert's care for some time. I'm sorry this is difficult for me. Our best efforts have failed. Every experimental treatment we could devise has been unsuccessful. I'm sorry to say I am dying.
No!
Can't be
Please,
serious.
everyone, please. I am sorry. This is not how I wanted. tell you. But we're running out of time.